They call them shotgun houses. You shoot from the front and go to the back. You had a front bedroom, and usually you had a bed in there, even though you had a couch if you could afford it. We used to go in the bayous down there and catch crayfish and cook them, and swipe eggs out of somebody's yard. And, I mean, to me, it was a typical childhood. I didn't know there was any difference in it. That's just how kids did. I never learned to do anything. I was a very spoiled brat of a child. When I got married, I didn't know how to cook. I had never done anything but wash dishes and set the table and make coffee. That was the extent of me in the kitchen. My husband was from Memphis, my first husband, and he liked Boston. We had 6 kids, and he said, well, maybe we could make it better if we left Memphis and come to Boston. So we did. I think Cardinal Cushing, he wasn't a cardinal then, was preaching, the sermon. And he talked about the shepherd watching over his flock. And I just wrote and told him I was one of his little lambs, but I had children down south. I wanted to find a place to live, for them. And he wrote me a letter and told us that we could move in Bromley Heath. And when I walked in this house, it just looked like he's put his arms around me and said, this is it. Hopefully one day I'll get enough money and get it really repaired. Right. I'll try. I went upstairs and looked around, and the house was it just looked like it was my house. And then we brought the kids on up here from the south. Believe me, I used to come home from work and I'd come in. I said, that one's mine. That's mine. Who in the hell is this? Because my house would be full of kids. I bought it, it was $25,000. I've refinanced it several times since then, and now I owe $350,000. I borrowed it from the bank. And then I got it refinanced, which made it go up from me paying $166,000. It went up. They lent me the money, and I had like one person came and did this, and one person came and did that, and you pay out. Just sign the paper. That's all. They were willing to, lend me the money, and they lent me the money, and they put it in my account. And these are letters that I wrote to the contractor that naturally didn't do any good. Well, the last loan I made, I didn't understand an adjustable mortgage. I really didn't. They said that was the only thing I could get was an adjustable mortgage.
Why would you give somebody like this an adjustable rate loan? It doesn't match their circumstances.
Know what to do with. They're not in the real estate business. They're in the business of making money. They're not in the business of making friends.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
The minority communities were inundated with advertisement solicitations to refinance as the market was going up, to roll their car payments, their credit cards, and so forth into their mortgages. And they were, as soon as there was any equity in the property, they would be getting solicitations from the subprime lenders and the brokers to refinance.
He came here, he talked through the house, he agreed with everything. He bowed his head, yes, yes. Had to almost get a dictionary to find out what he was saying. He has a very heavy Irish brogue, but the purest smile you ever want to see. Very, and I guess I'm a sucker for a good smile because all he had to do was smile and I agreed with it. This was the kitchen floor. He laid it out. And when I came home from work, I was working 2 jobs then. So I would get home about 8 o'clock in the morning, 9, and they would be here working. When I came home one day, the whole back had been torn out of the house. He left a big, big hole. I think I have a picture of it, and ran pipes through it. And my oldest son reported it to 1010 Mass Ave. A man came out here. He put a stop work order on the house, but I paid like $135,000 or more. But a lot of the work was not done. And I was trying to pay it, but all I was doing was paying interest, and it wasn't going anywhere. And I mean, $200 on a $10,000 bill doesn't do anything, except that it doesn't even pay the interest. So that's where I need help on that.
There's to be something very wrong when all that people can do is take their money and use 70 or 80% of it or more to give to a lender for something that's not sustainable.
My daughter in California is paying my water bill and helping me with the phone and things. And I have a son in Germany that sends me $200 a month. So with that type of income plus my retirement and Social Security, that's how I would make it. Now, the original plan was to fix that third floor up and rent it out. This is what I do. I get up in the morning and I come out of my room and I head for my kitchen. So I'm up a creek. And I did write President Bush a letter and ask for a pardon. So I just finally just sit down and just hand wrote a letter. And I just explained that I need a pardon, that the outgoing president can pardon people. And I needed a pardon from my debt. That I had worked in a jail for 17 years. I served time in jail. But, you know, on the other side, held the key. But I needed help. And that's what I needed help in, to pay off the mortgage on my home. So I wrote a letter. I said, I can't make it. I don't know how to do it.
Somebody like Frances James has lived in that house a long time. That house has a lot of memories for her. And she worked very hard most of her life to stay in that house, to be in that house. The longer a person is in the house, the more it's a part of them.
It's me. This house is me.